Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be exploring the footer tab in the WordPress Blocksy Customizer. Okay, so to access the WordPress Customizer, there's two ways to do it. The first and easiest one is to go to your website here and make sure that you're logged in. And on the top toolbar here, go ahead and click on Customize. That should take you to the Customizer. Now, the alternative is to, enter your dashboard, which is typically what happens when you log in or input your details, and scroll down over here to Appearance, and then click on Customize, and it will take you to the WordPress Customizer. Okay, so once we're here, we can see that we are in the Blocksy theme, and we have the header tab over here. On the left side here, or what's taking up most of the space, is the preview, and by default, it's going to be at the top of our page. Let's scroll down and we can see our footer. So let's go ahead and click on our footer tab here. And let's take a look at what we can see on the screen before we move forward. So starting off with the left-hand sidebar, we have our elements and our footers over here. So our elements, as you can see, are these items that we can go ahead and drag and drop on. Well, you can see here, it had a blue dot, and those are the places where it snaps to. And you can see we now have our socials over here. Likewise, with this footer menu number 1, I can remove that, and it will be removed. And now you can see that we have here top row, middle row, and bottom row. This is the extent of our footer. So everything beyond this is, well, this trending now widget, and everything above it is not within the scope. So this top row here is this. This is our middle row. You can see by the border, and the copyright over here is the only thing that takes up the bottom row. Okay, next let's take a look at our footers. So our footers, we can see that we have this, or we can create a new one, right? Footer 2, and let's create a new one. And you can see that this one comes blank, and it would only have, you can see it's missing a bunch of elements here. It would only have the copyright. Now, why would you want to have a different footer? Now, it really depends on your website if you want to have a different footer, depending on the season, or if you have sales, or if you're doing maintenance, you might want to remove your footer completely to prevent unintended access to certain parts of your website or certain functionalities. Now we can go even further with this by clicking on the footer that we want to edit and click on this arrow, and we can also change the defaults by full width or boxed or default, and you can see we have different presets. Depending on what we choose, we can also choose the default background. I'll choose dark red here, and we can also add some padding here. Let's say 15 pixels padding, and you can see it's moved in a bit. And then we can also change the reveal effect, and you can see it looks like this. However, in our preview, it doesn't really work, so let's go ahead and disable that. And last but not least, we have editing our elements. So we can drag and drop these to wherever there's a blue dot. Right, so quick links over here should end up over here, and you can see a blue dot appeared where this was, and you can see this is now blank. Will not really last, I should say, because we still have our options for the rows. And in the place of this, we can insert a button. And now you can see we have a button here. And in order to edit these elements, we can just simply click on them, and then we will get the parameters and design options for these. Let's say for the socials, if you click on that, we can choose which socials we can enable or disable. And then if you click on copyright, we can edit our copyright text, and it's different for each and every one of these. Okay, now for the last thing, it's editing our rows separately. So we can hover over here on our rows, top row, middle row, and bottom row, click on the gear icon, and we can change how many columns there are. So For this instance, there are 2 columns. We can make it have 4 up to 6, and then we can also change how wide they are. So let's say for this 2-column one, or let's say for this one, right? These are this wide, but if I put it over here, you can see in the preview it's much wider, and the text doesn't wrap around as tightly. Okay, and we can also change the spacing, we can change the widget spacing, we can change the vertical spacing, we can change the alignment, and make sure it's full width or container default width, or we can even enable or disable this row on desktop, tablet, and mobile. And then we can again change the row color, so we can make this let's find something a bit more contrasting. Make it dark green, just to make it contrast with everything else. And that's about that. So we have our elements here, selecting different footers and customizing those. We can also edit our top row, middle row, and bottom row depending on what we want, and depending on if it's responsive on or not on different devices. So with that, let's go ahead and click on Publish and review our changes. All right, with that all said and done, let's go and scroll over to our footer over here. Let's reload the site. And you can see our footer looks completely different now. So there's navigating the header tab in WordPress's customizer in Blocksy. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as it really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Show this kind of video to other nerds like us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.